I'm Iris, this is Beauty Bees. I haven't made a video in well over a year, so as you can imagine, there are a lot of empties that have built up. So I have 3 bins of things in front of me. I have one that has more body care and fragrance, one that has skincare and hair care, and a tiny little, actually, it's one of my kitchen bowls, that has all the makeup that I finished in the past year, along with nail polish. We're going to start with the one that's just closest to me, which is skincare and hair care. I finished 3 of these Bath & Body Works dry shampoos. I have been absolutely loving these. I think that right before I left my channel on an unintended long break, that I had mentioned that I'd purchased 1 or 2 of these and was really liking them. I continue to really like these. I have a 4th one going in my bathroom right now. I don't see a huge difference between the different scents. I mean, they smell very lightly of the scent, which here we have At the Beach, which is like a classic coconut scent, champagne, apple and honey, which I think is just mostly an apple scent, and champagne toast, which is like a light sort of berry citrusy kind of scent. Which I'm looking at it, there's actually, oh wait, is tangerine a citrus fruit? I don't know. I don't think so. Anyway, it's a light fruity scent. The scent doesn't matter very much on these, but I find that they do a really nice job of making my hair look clean, which is what I'm looking for with dry shampoo. I don't really struggle a huge amount with volume. I have pretty wavy hair, and though I don't have a ton of hair, my hair is pretty thin and it's pretty fine. It does tend to retain volume relatively well, but these do a good job of keeping my hair clean. I like the formula. I don't find that it leaves a lot of white cast or anything, and I will continue to purchase these. I did finish one other dry shampoo in the past year, which was the Not Your Mother's Bodybuilding Plump for Joy. Now, I think I've used up a couple of Not Your Mother's dry shampoos in the past, though I think they were probably the Clean Freak one. This is just fine. I wouldn't have a problem with using it again, but I wouldn't seek it out either. Okay, I didn't keep like shampoo because I just don't feel like that's very interesting. There were like 3 different times over the course of the past year where I was like, I'm gonna come back to YouTube, I'm gonna film my empties video, and each of those times I went through and I pulled out things that I just didn't think were that interesting to talk about in my empties video because I knew that it was going to be a monster, even if I only kept to things that I considered a little bit more interesting. So I have 1 hair mask that I've kept, and I would imagine that I probably finished another one, but probably only 2. I really have not been consistently using hair masks. So this one is from Amika. It is their Soul Food Nourishing Mask. I thought this was a pretty average hair mask. I don't feel like it made my hair feel like really thick and silky in the way that some hair masks do, which is a bummer. That's kind of what I really hope for. But this was like a good conditioner. While I would definitely pick it up again if it was one of the free samples on Sephora or something and I would use it, I wouldn't purchase another tube. And then this was something that I was actually pretty surprised by. This is the Olaplex No. 6 Balm Smoother Leave-In Styling Treatment. And this was a sample. I think that I probably got this in an Allure beauty box. And this lasted me forever because, like I mentioned, I have about 10 hairs on my head. So I needed a very tiny amount. This lasted me months. But this was such an easy product to use. Usually I find that these products where it's more, okay, you can see just a little bit there. It's more like a cream. I find that because my hair is so fine, I have so little of it, that it's hard to get that spread through my hair in a way that doesn't make it feel weighed down or greasy. but this distributed nicely through my hair. It felt very bouncy and like the frizz was pretty well under control when I was using this. However, I don't think that I ever, no, this would have been done before it got really humid this summer. So I didn't test it under like the most stressful conditions, but I was pretty happy with this. I do have somewhat frizzy hair year round. It just amps up to 11 during the summer. And this did a pretty good job of taking it, you know, from a 9 frizziness to a 4 frizziness. All you can really ask for. That's it for hair care. We're moving on to skincare now. I have 4 face washes that I felt like it was worthwhile keeping around. So I know that I finished like 3 of these e.l.f. Holy Hydration cleansers. This is a fine facial cleanser. I tend to get it because the e.l.f. Point system is so good that a lot of the time I can get it for free. And if I can get an okay face wash for free, I'm gonna go back again and again. This is the Bounce Back Jelly Cleanser, if I didn't specify. I think I might have just called it the Holy Hydration earlier. And this is fine. It's a gel cleanser, which is my preference. I have pretty normal skin, though I find that in the summer it tends to lean a little oily. In the winter it tends to lean a little dry. This works well either time of year, and it smells lightly of coconut. It's pleasant. It's a jelly cleanser, which I really do like. I will continue to use this and repurchase it. Another gel cleanser. This is from Purlisse, and I am almost positive that I have used a couple of these in the past as well. This is the Pineapple Bright Cleansing Gel. I love pineapple. Oh, that was a gross sound. I love pineapple scented anything, and this does have a little bit of a pineapple scent to it. I just find this to be really pleasant. I think that it does a little bit more effective of a job of getting my skin really clean than the e.l.f. one does, but it's also quite a bit more expensive and I don't think quite as easily available. I'm guessing that I got this on Ipsy. I don't know that I've ever seen Purlisse in my local like Target or anything, and I haven't been doing a lot of shopping at Ulta, so I'm not sure where I would get this, but I do like it. And then I have 2 mini Clinique cleansers. I bought a set of 4 mini Clinique cleansers probably a year and a half ago, and I've used 2 of them. I intended to sort of bring them on vacations with me, and I'm sure that I did bring one of these on vacation with me when I went, but also I realize I don't go on vacation that often. Wish I could do more, but you know, financial realities and time off and everything. So I needed to use them at home too if I was going to use them up before they expired on me. So we have the All About Clean Liquid Facial Soap, which I feel like this is a little bit on the drying side. This is sort of gives you that squeaky clean feeling, which to me means that it's overly drying. But it wasn't a problem for me. So this is for dry combination skin. That's an interesting choice. I would probably suggest for dry combination skin, this All About Clean Rinse Off Foaming Cleanser. I found that this was quite a bit more gentle on my skin. And the downside to me, who has normal, occasionally a little bit oily skin, was that I feel like it didn't get me quite as clean as I needed to be. On the cap, it is a sort of light, I think of it as like pump hand soap consistency. It's just not quite as effective of a cleanser as I want it to be. I have not been wowed by any of the Clinique cleansers. I feel like they could all be really good for someone, but they seem kind of expensive for what they are, and I haven't found one that was like great for me. Though I think I still have 1 or 2 of them left, so maybe there'll be a massive hit in there somewhere. Speaking of Clinique, we have the Clinique Moisture Surge. I love this stuff. I don't actually have one going right now, which is kind of surprising. I intended to over Black Friday, had to think a lot more about that than I should have. I intended to get another one of these, but it just kind of slipped my mind. So this is a gel moisturizer, and this feels like water on your skin. My skin drinks it up. It wears beautifully underneath makeup, or I guess makeup wears beautifully over this product. I can use it morning or night. It's enough hydration that I can use it overnight without being, you know, too heavy or too greasy, or I can't use it under makeup. I have so many nice things to say about this. I've probably said most of them in previous videos because I think this is like the third one that I've used up, but it all bears worth repeating. So finished another one of those. I have been using various samples and stuff since, but I would like to get this again. I'll have to keep an eye on a sale for that. And I mean, let's talk about a couple of the samples that I've used up. I feel like I must have used up others as well and just gotten rid of them over time. But we have the Innisfree Green Tea Hyaluronic Cream. I honestly don't remember what this was like at all. I know I used it. I know I didn't hate it because I wouldn't have used it up. But I don't remember being super impressed by it. I have another one from Innisfree, which I'm sure I'll talk about in an upcoming video, in some upcoming empties, that I liked quite a bit more than this. And I also have a little one from e.l.f. This is their Holy Hydration face cream, and this was fine. I've got a little bit left in there. It is, well, I can see why I got rid of it, because what's little that is left has congealed. Let's just close that up. Anyway, this was a nice product. It feels like the poor man's version of the Clinique. I would choose this one any day, even though I could get this one for free probably. Sunscreen, I must have also thrown away a bunch of sunscreens, probably ones that I'd used over and over again. I know that I used at least 2 of these Istri. I don't know what this brand is. I'll have to check it out. But the hyaluronic acid watery sun gel. I went to Disney World last October. I went by myself. It was super fun. It was something that I'd talked about doing for ages. I hadn't been there since I was in college, which was 10 years ago now. Oh my goodness. And yeah, I went. It was really fun. I stayed at one of their resorts. I stayed at All-Star Movies, I think. No, I stayed at All-Star Sports. If you are a single woman looking to do a vacation by yourself, Disney World is great. You can get picked up from the airport. I found it to be a very safe feeling experience. There was never a time that I felt uncomfortable. I was able to request a room that was pretty close to the lobby because some of those hotels are really big. You don't want to be wandering around on the grounds by yourself like late at night. It was great. I had such a good time. But anyway, I bought a couple of these and took them to Disney with me because I thought these would be great to stick in my purse and be able to reapply sunscreen throughout the day. And they were, and this is a really nice sunscreen. I tend to like K-Beauty sunscreens. I tend to find them really light and breathable, and this was no exception. Really enjoyed this. Would totally consider buying a full size. And somehow I have no other sunscreens, which, look at me. Clearly I've used up other sunscreens in the past year, but I guess none of them were worth talking about in my mind. And then we have a little serum. This is the 3 Ships Dewdrops Mushroom and Kakadu Plum Hyaluronic Acid Serum. This is a 7 ml size, which this is a weirdly large tube for 7 mls. But this was another Allure Beauty Box purchase. This is not something I would have gotten anywhere else. I used it. I enjoyed it. I do like a hyaluronic acid serum, especially one that's more of a like light gel, which I would say this one was. I've been terrible about using serums. I've been terrible about doing a lot of skincare actually, but I did finish this one and I was very happy with myself. I finished one mask. This is the Clay Day Pore Purifying and Detoxifying Mask. I bought a trio of these little Bliss masks probably 2 years ago, and I just don't know that this is any better or any worse than any other clay mask. I have a hard time committing to doing a clay mask. If I'm doing like some kind of overnight mask, then I can get into it because there's not an extra step. But having to take off all my makeup, so cleansing my face, put this on, wait, have to cleanse my face again, that's hard to commit to. So I used it. I do think it does a good job of pulling some of the dirt and oil out of the skin. I'm just not sure that this type of product is for me. I do have some breakouts going on. I think that my lighting is doing me a lot of favors. My skin is not looking good. I've got a big breakout right here and a couple of other little ones scattered around. But overall, my skin is generally fairly well behaved, and something like this is nice to have around for when it is acting up a little bit more. But I have other clay masks because they're a thing that beauty boxes love to give you, and I do not go through them nearly fast enough for how often I have received them. Okay, and now I have 2 toners. I really didn't see a massive difference between these. I feel like toner is toner, more or less. I have an e.l.f. one. This is the, what is this one? e.l.f. Pure Skin Toner. It's fine. I also have a Skin & Co. Truffle Therapy Face Toner. This one is, I would say, like very slightly marginally better than the e.l.f. one. I feel like this is a little bit more hydrating, and by more hydrating, I mean a little bit less stripping. Sometimes I feel like toner can be a little bit stripping, and this definitely wasn't. But this is one of those products that a beauty box will send you, and it tells you that it's, oh, like a $40 product or a $70 product. It's not worth that to me. I can tell you that much. It's fine. Right now I'm using one from Dr. Brandt, I think. It's not like that much better. Now I'm using one from Thayer's, I think, like the Witch Hazel company, and it is also fine. Is it marginally less good than this one? Yeah, I think so. But it is also an order of magnitude less expensive. Finally done with the first bin. Now we get to move on to bin number 2, and I've only been filming for about 20 minutes, so there's hope for us. Maybe I won't have to spend my entire weekend editing this thing. Next, we're moving on to body care. So more or less the Bath & Body Works section. I've used up 3 body washes that I felt were worth talking about. And I think that the way I determined that was if I'd talked about scents previously on my channel, I didn't bother to bring them in because Bath & Body Works body washes, at least if you're looking at like this one rather than the, I know they have some kind of moisturizing one as well. They tend to be pretty similar in formula. It's just the scent that differs. And This was a good one. This is Loyal to You, which was a lemon scent. As per usual, I will have notes up somewhere on the screen, but this was a nice, like, sort of gender neutral lemon scent. I feel like this would be a good one to have in the bathroom if you share with a significant other, or just you prefer more gender neutral scents for like spring and summer, especially because it is more of a lemon scent. It's a little bit lighter. It's very clean. I really liked this. This line is supposed to be dupes for various high-end fragrances. I have no idea what this is supposed to be duping. I also finished Starfruit Sangria. I do like my fruity scents, especially for the summer, and this was nice. This was a release for one of their semi-annual sales, and the notes on this one are golden starfruit, kiwi nectar, and chilled sangria, which apparently smells different than normal sangria. And yeah, it's a light fruity scent. I don't know that I would be able to say starfruit and kiwi, but I would be able to say light and tropical, which is what I'm going for most of the time. And then finally we have Vanilla Romance. The fragrance notes on this one are fresh cardamom, vanilla absolute, and captivating woods. This one leans a little bit more gender neutral, and it's a little bit more of a perfume scent. Like, I liked this, but it didn't feel clean to me the same way that really clean scents or some light florals or light fruit scents do. I liked this scent. I think I would like it in a perfume mist or something more than I liked it in a body wash. I like to feel really clean when I'm done with the shower, and part of that for me is having scents that lean a little bit clean, a little bit fruity, maybe light florals. I finished one lotion that I felt was worth keeping. So this is the Melis Get Dreamy lotion. It is supposedly overnight toning. What does that mean? I have no idea. Did it do anything to my skin beyond moisturize it? No. But it had a nice light berry scent. This is a product that you see on like Ulta's 21 Days of Beauty pretty often. And even at the 21 Days of Beauty price, which is half off, I don't think I'd purchase this. This is, I think, a $40 lotion, and I just don't see a point in that at all. I mean, it smells nice, but it doesn't smell that nice. I would prefer one of the Sol de Janeiro fragrances any day over this, and I don't think it did anything special for my skin. So I got that out in Allure, I'm sure, and I enjoyed it, but I wouldn't buy it. I used up so many fragrances, it's ridiculous. So we have two from, I think this is Le Monde Gourmand. I have Light de Coco, so coconut milk, and Te Matcha, matcha tea. Both pleasant, both more of a layering scent. I find that these Le Monde Gourmand fragrances tend to be what I would consider in between a perfume and a body mist. So they don't quite have the longevity that I would generally associate with a perfume. They also don't have the strength that I would associate with a perfume. They do smell like what they say they're going to smell like. The matcha had a little bit of an earthy scent. It was also a rather pretty shade of green, which you can't really tell now because it's empty. And Light de Coco, I thought was, it was a pleasant coconut scent, but it was a pretty average coconut scent. I would pick about 3 different Bath & Body Works coconut scents over this any day. I also finished up 2 scents from Juliet Has a Gun, and I feel like I finished a thing of, I want to say it's Strawberry Shake from Juliet Has a Gun as well, but I don't have that here. So I guess we're not going to mention it. Uh, First, we have Pear Ink. I do tend to like pear scents, but I really like a spring summer pear scent, like really light and crisp, rather than something more winter-y. And this was, to me, a little bit more of a wintry pear smell. It had something deeper or muskier in the background than I prefer. That's just me in general. I tend to like spring, summer fragrances year-round, and this just wasn't quite it, but I liked it enough to finish it. I also used up Vanilla Vibes. This Juliet Has a Gun Vanilla Vibes is a really nice, easy, everyday, wear all year kind of vanilla scent. I like this a lot. It's kind of basic, but it's really pretty. It's completely inoffensive. I would totally buy another one of these. I probably wouldn't buy it at full price because Juliet Has a Gun is pretty expensive, but I would be very happy if Bath & Body Works decided to dupe this one. They should do that. I would be all over that. Okay, next we have this Nicole Miller Nectar de Pêche, or Peach Nectar. Gotta love making the name French so that it is fancy, but it's also French that is such an obvious cognate that English speakers know exactly what you're talking about. Anyway, this was a pretty peach scent. So I took this to Disney with me because I had this plan in my mind of, oh, I'll use this while I'm here, and then when I come home and I use it other times, it'll make me think of Disney. I'll trick my mind, be really pleasant memories, and it didn't work. I have no scent memories with this, which is a bummer, but it's pleasant. I wouldn't go purchase it again. It's nothing special, but you know, it's nice. I don't think it's not quite as peachy as I would have assumed it would be based on the name. There's definitely something else that I would say is 60% of the scent, while peach is like 40%. I also used up a couple of Bath & Body Works fragrances. So we have Gingham Gorgeous. This is the second one of the scent that I've used up, I am pretty sure. And this is a strawberry scent. It's a very clean, sweet take on strawberry. I really like it. I don't tend to like strawberry scents very much because often I find them to be a little bit too cloyingly sweet. I tend not to like a really gourmand strawberry. Like baked goods strawberry, just overwhelming. Kind of makes me feel a little bit sick to my stomach if it's at all warm out. But this is very, very pretty. Just in a word, it's a pretty scent. Very girly and sweet. And this is so good. I am so bummed that they are not selling this anymore. I feel like they should make this a permanent scent. This is Pistachio Glaze from Bath & Body Works. I bought a pen spray of this, and I bought the full-size body mist. And I'm halfway through the body mist. I really enjoy it. It's a very, I don't want to say very sweet because that sounds overwhelming, but it is a sweet pistachio scent, sort of baked goods. So good. So sweet, so pretty, very interesting. Not something that I think Bath & Body Works has anything close to in their regular line. I really miss this already. I want them to bring it back. Now for me, this is definitely more of a perfume scent. It's not something I would necessarily want to... A giant bug just hit the window. This scent is not something that I would necessarily want to use in the shower because it doesn't smell clean to me, but man, is it delicious. Like, I want to eat whatever this is based off of. I feel like it would be delightful. I also finished 2 mini sprays from Bath & Body Works. First we have Gingham Vibrant. This is violet and blackberry, and it's so light and delicate, and yeah, I think delicate is what I would go with for this one, and pretty for Gingham Gorgeous. These came out in the same collection, I am pretty sure. I think that Gingham Gorgeous has come back a couple of times since, and I think this is actually probably round 2 for me. Gingham Vibrant, I think that Gingham Vibrant on first sniff was my favorite of the 3 new gingham scents that came out together, which were Gingham Fresh, Gingham Vibrant, and Gingham Gorgeous. And I think they all hold up really well, but I would say that this is probably number 2 or 3 to me now. It's still very pretty, and it's still a nice, delicate, easy scent for spring and summer in particular, but I just like something with a little bit more oomph. And then we have Thailand Sweet Kiwi and Starfruit. I love a tropical scent. I love a fruity tropical scent, and this is exactly that. Yeah, it's a pretty fruity tropical. Again, the notes on this one actually sound really similar to Starfruit Sangria, though I don't think I don't think they smell that similar. They have almost the same notes, but I don't think they smell that similar. I know I was giving them a bad time about it being chilled sangria earlier, but you know what? This does somehow just smell colder in temperature than this one does, so maybe they were onto something. Hey, 2 more. We have a little Pacifica Island Vanilla Perfumed Hair and Body Mist. I've used up a full-size one of these before on my channel, and I feel the same way. It's a nice scent. Very easy, very everyday vanilla. I like the idea that you can put this on your hair. Do I ever? No, but it's a nice thought at least that it's supposed to be non-drying because it's not formulated with any alcohol. It's nice. I would purchase it again if I saw this. I probably got this on Ipsy for like $2 or $3. Yeah, I'd probably do that again, but I really should because I have so many body mists. But this is a nice one. And then finally, in the body care section, we have Whipped Almond from Mix Bar. This is a 50 ml perfume, and I really liked this when I first got it in particular. I felt like it smelled just like almond extract, which I love. Not generally a huge fan of baked goods kind of scents, though maybe that's changed because we've talked about 2 today, and those were 2 that I really enjoyed. But almond extract is one of the best smells on earth. Over time, this definitely got weaker. I think I've owned this for probably 3 to 4 years. Yeah, maybe 4 to 5. And I decided this past winter that it's time. We're gonna use this thing up. And I found that I needed to use quite a bit of it to get to the scent level that I wanted. And then I had to reapply later in the day if I wanted to continue smelling like this whipped almond scent. So I wasn't super impressed by that. I've definitely had perfumes longer that stayed, fresh longer, but this was nice, and I'm sure that this was like 15 or 20 bucks at Target. So I can't complain that much about a $20 Target perfume. All right, now let's move to my little bowl of makeup. So first of all, aren't these bowls adorable? I asked for some like grown-up bowls and plates for Christmas from my mom because I had very much the like college student, grad student assortment of different like plastic plates and like one or two that I found at Goodwill. And she found this set of bowls and like dinner plates at one of our local thrift stores for like 20 bucks. And I think there's 8 bowls and 12 plates, and I just love them. I think they're beautiful. Anyway, besides the point. But I finished 2 like proper nail polishes this year. I also finished probably 3 top coats, but they were all top coats that I discussed before, and I didn't see any reason to clog up this video with them. So first we have the Wet n Wild Fast Dry in the shade Extraterrestrial. Now, neither of these nail polishes is like a true empty. They've kind of gotten to that point where they're like half gone to 2/3 gone, and they just get kind of gloopy and gross. I just have enough nail polish that it's not worth it to me to thin things out. Like, oh no, I might lose 1/3 of a bottle of Wet n Wild nail polish. Whatever shall I do? I definitely don't have 300 other bottles of nail polish upstairs. Yeah. Anyway, it was a glittery topper polish. Is it any better than any other glittery topper polish? I don't think so. I like the Wet n Wild Fast Dry formula. I just like fast dry formulas in general, but I don't feel like that one was anything special. I also finished up this Leisha's Lacquer polish in Ions of Neon, which was another topper, and this had little neon orange, purple, pink, blue, and green little glitters. It was so fun. The glitters themselves are matte, and I loved putting these over like basically any color during the summer. I just thought it was a really fun little pop. It worked really well over black, it worked well over white. Nudes were probably my favorite to wear this with. I love that the glitters are matte. That really made it for me. I wish that this was in a little bit better shape, but again, I have so many nail polishes, it's not worth thinning out. Okay, so now we are moving to brow pencils. I have 3 here. So this I have talked about many times over the years. This is the e.l.f. Instant Lift Brow Pencil in blonde. I think I've also used the auburn one at times. It's a good pencil. It's really cheap. I'm using the waterproof one right now. It's what I'm wearing today. I don't see a massive difference between them, but I like this. We'll continue to buy, we'll continue to use. I just don't see any reason to spend a lot of money on a brow pencil because I tend to go through them in the space of a couple of months. Maybe it takes me 2 to 3 months to go through a brow pencil. So why don't I have more of these? It's a good question. Not really sure why I decided to keep only some of these. I also used up a Life Nanofill brow pencil in the shade Blondie. So this was one of those really thin little pencils. I do think that these are nice because you can draw individual hairs. However, it takes more time. I use it up faster. They tend to be more expensive. Yeah, I like them when I use them, but then I just never quite feel like they're worth going out and purchasing. I've used not necessarily this one from Life, but I know I've used the e.l.f. Fine tip pencil before. I've used one from another brand as well, and I like them, but I don't like them enough to invest in a more expensive brow pencil. I used up 4 mascaras, which seems exactly right for a year and some, and knowing that I'm about 2 months into the mascara that I'm using right now. We have the Maybelline Snapscara. My dog is up. Let me go take care of him. 1 second. All right, let's keep going. I think I was talking about the Maybelline Snapscara. Now, I don't think I gave this a really fair shake because I purchased this on clearance at my grocery store. So who knows how old it was when I got it. But I found that this just didn't last very long. That is, like, I only had it open for probably a month and a half, and it was kind of dry and clumpy and gross. And this was just always kind of clumpy. It has a very curved brush, and when I was able to really focus on like this portion of the brush, like the lower portion of the brush, I found that I got really pretty lashes, but I always got a big clump of mascara on the top third of the brush. So, not a big fan of that, but I think I would have liked it more if I, had a more fresh tube. I used up 2 of the Lash Beats mascara from e.l.f. and I feel like this is a fine mascara. It's another one that I'm sure I got for pretty close to free, if not free, from e.l.f. It has a normal sort of Christmas tree looking brush, synthetic rubber bristle brush. Just got some on my hand. Lasts pretty well throughout the day, but doesn't give like insane length or make my lashes feel really fluttery, which is what I am going for. So I've used up 2. I might have a 3rd one upstairs somewhere, but I'll use it. I won't feel strongly about it, I'm guessing. This one was great until it wasn't. So this is the Kat Von D full sleeve. It's a tubing mascara. I found that I really like tubing mascaras. They tend to last really well on me through the day. This one, though, was great for about 2 months. Like, beautiful, long lashes, felt very ladylike and pretty, and then when it got warm, when I went to Disney, it was of course very humid and pretty warm, even though it was October, so it was probably like in the low 80s. It was a very pleasant temperature. But this just burned my eyes. It still lasted really well. It didn't look like it had smudged or flaked or anything. My eyes just burned. And I don't know if that was because of, it was because of the mascara. I quit using the mascara and it got better. But I don't know if that was, my light just moved on me. Okay, it works. We just need to finish this thing. I don't know if that was because of the temperature, the humidity, if it had just gone off, what it was, but I did not like that anymore. And honestly, it had been pretty warm when I was at home because I would have had that open during August, September, which tend to be pretty hot here. So I don't know what's going on with that. Wouldn't purchase directly. I think I got that as like a sign-up gift for Allure, and it was just okay. Okay, I have 1 face product, and then we have like 4 or 5 lip products to go through, and we're done. So this is from NARS. It is their creamy concealer in Chantilly Light 1. This is just the lightest shade that they have. It is a pretty good skin tone match for me. It looks a little bit light right now, but I'm also the darkest I ever get right now. Lovely, beautiful. Did a nice job both under my eyes when I used it that way, which wasn't super often. More often I used it on my chin because I tend to get really red on my chin and on little breakouts. Beautiful. Enjoyed every second of it. Took out the stopper. I know it doesn't look like I've scraped it because you can still see a bunch of white or, light beige color. But I did a pretty good job of scraping that thing out. It is pretty close to empty, and what I am getting out at this point is just kind of dry and crusted on. Not a great look, but really liked this. I have a couple of other concealers right now, none of which I like quite as much as this, but also none of which I feel like so negatively about that I feel like I need to go and purchase this one. Yeah, I would consider buying this again once I've finished up another concealer. That'll probably be a long time though, because my other full concealers are full size, and that one lasted me a year and was a mini. So we'll see. Okay, I have 5 lip products. So we have 3. Okay, let me stop making lots of jingling noises in the bowl. I have 3 lip glosses that I used usually overnight as lip masks. So I think my favorite of the 3 was the Too Faced Kissing Jelly Gloss. This one is in Sour Watermelon, and these actually, wow, wasn't even in motion, just dropped it. And these actually do smell like what they say. I find this to be a really pleasant, this is a Jolly Rancher scent. It's Sour Watermelon Jolly Ranchers, just straight on. I loved this. It is nicely nourishing. It sticks around on my lips pretty well overnight while also not feeling heavy. I really like this more gel texture. The Hangover X balm, I think, would have been my second favorite. This was just a little bit more thick, but this smelled like banana. I love banana candy. It smells like banana Laffy Taffy. Delightful. And this is also really good. I just tend to like gels. I like gel moisturizers. I like gel cleansers. Turns out I like a more gel lip gloss too. And this is a good one. Right now I am working on the bubblegum one. I got these in a set probably after Christmas. Not this past Christmas, not Christmas 2025, but Christmas 2024. And I've emptied this one out. It's been sitting on its side for a few months at this point, so anything that was left has gathered right here. Makes it look not that empty, but it is, I promise. I don't like that one as much because it has glitter in it, and it has a lot of glitter in it, and the glitter sticks around. Like, if I could find another duo of these, because I think these are a little too expensive, regular price. These are like a $22 lip product, which is, I think, kind of ridiculous. But if I could find a duo of these where they were both glitter-free, I would consider purchasing one. If I could get them down to more like $13 to $15 a tube, I like these a lot. I already mentioned the Hangover X Pillow Balm. I really like this. It was a good product. Did a nice job of moisturizing my lips. Like I said, just felt a little bit heavier than the, I just talked about this, Kissing Jelly Gloss. But if your lips are really dry, if it's the dead of winter, this is probably a better option. And the last one that I have to talk about is from Clinique. This is the Creamy Lip Gloss. So, Really exciting name there. It's a really exciting product. This looks like kid makeup to me. This absolutely looks like the makeup set that we had at daycare when I was like 4. It was fine, but it just felt very generic. I'm sure this came in a set with other Clinique products, and I really hope that I liked those a lot more, because this was just kind of okay. Really nothing to say about it. Okay, I have 2 more lip products and then we are done. So first we have the ColourPop Just a Tint in the shade The Strand. I used up to the point where it started hitting my lips and I was like, I'm done with this. You know, pretty color. Kind of a nudie pink shade. Groundbreaking. I hate the caps on these things. They always crack on me. Like, I don't feel like I'm really rough on my makeup, but something about these ColourPop Just a Tints. I've had, I think, 4 of these over the years, and they all crack in the same way. It's annoying. Anyway, yeah, I really liked the first one of these that I used up probably about 5 years ago, and now I feel just kind of neutral about it. The smell goes in between bothering me and not. Like today I think it's fairly pleasant, sort of a fruity scent, but sometimes this scent just bothers me, and I just feel like there are other lip glosses or tinted lip balms that I like more. So I probably, well, okay, let's be real. Me personally, I probably will end up buying another one of these because I'll probably see a shade at Target or something and be like, oh, that's so pretty, and I liked them back in the day. But me right now, reasonable, realistic, remembering how much I was just kind of blah about this by the end, wouldn't purchase one. Does that make sense? Probably not. And then finally, we have a Makeup by Mario little miniature Moisture Glow Plumping Lip Serum in Rosewood Glow. And this is one of those like twist up, but you can't put it back down. I don't really like that format of product, just kind of annoying to me. But this was a pretty shade. I like the level of pigment and level of shine that it has. It's very pretty on the lips. It was a good color for me. Another nudie pink because, you know, just gotta keep it exciting around here. This was good. I have another one in a like light red shade. I like that one more, but this was very pleasant. It doesn't sting the way some lip plumpers do. I found it to be not particularly moisturizing, but it wasn't painful. Not, again, like I said, not my favorite format of product. I would much rather just have a gloss in a tube, like a, oh, probably not this kind of tube, but you know, a tube like this, probably a skinnier one so that I can get a little bit more precise application if something is this level of pigmented, but it's nice. All right, so there we have my year's worth of empties. I am tired. I guess I don't talk that much day to day because my throat kind of hurts now. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I apologize for my absence. Hopefully I will be at least a little bit more consistent about being here and posting content, though I imagine that I will not get back to like 3 times a week the way that I was previously posting. Thank you for being patient with me. I really enjoyed being back. I'm excited to get back into the swing of things, and I really hope that you will be with me for that little trip. Consider liking and subscribing if you enjoyed and if you want to see more from this channel. and I hope I'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys.